Hello, and welcome to the Sonic Board podcast. It's September 9th, 2017. I'm your host, DeoxysPrime. What?
Oh, it's not.
It is for us. Mr. Future Boy. We got Funk here.
Hello.
We got Matt.
Hello.
We got Kenny.
Yep.
We got Collin.
Video game.
And we have, I believe, making his first ever appearance on the Sonic Board podcast. Give it up for OmegatheRobot.
Hey, guys.
Fuck that up.
Hey, say his name again.
What?
Oh, God.
What, OmegatheRobot?
No. Kenny
There we
coughed
go.
over it.
What the fuck, Kenny?
Yeah, every time I talk now, just someone cough over me. I don't actually have any quotes.
Frank, quote that.
Boo.
Yeah. How's it feel to be here, Omega?
It's pretty much the greatest day of my life, and from now on, it's just going to be a steady decline down towards nothingness.
Well, you're kind of a turncoat, right? You were formerly on Team Slam Dankcast. Now you're on Team the Sonic Board podcast.
Well, I'm kind of, just dipping my toes in the water, I wouldn't say I'm officially a turncoat. That's a bit too much, I would say.
Is your podcast on hiatus right now?
Whenever I feel like making another one, hiatus.
Who has not been on that podcast yet?
I don't think Kenny has.
It was
Kenny.
supposed to be Kenny and Mule, right?
Yeah. It's the next one, Kenny, has to be you and Mule, and it's just going to be you two talking. So, whenever you're ready for that.
Holy shit.
Work out your differences.
Yeah.
No,
Kenny-
Kenny. No, Kenny doesn't even want to give it the time of day.
He continues to game.
What was that?
God
Oh,
damn
God.
it, Kenny.
What are we talking about?
Nothing important.
Okay, good.
Well, I'll tell you what is important.
Is
We
anything
have-
important anymore?
We have a big mystery on our hands. Who is Mccausland88?
Well, it's quite the mystery, and it's more layered than it might seem initially.
Yeah.
Because Collin, I just don't know when to believe you. I don't know if you've talked to them about this yet or not, but the first time I talked to Collin after that whole debacle, he's just like, yeah, that actually wasn't me.
Should we
It's all
explain?
a farce.
Should we explain? Give some context to what happened?
Yes, because it's quite the mystery. Get a pen and paper out so you can take notes if you're not privy, because there's quite the line here to follow.
Okay,
So,
so
Kick
on
us off.
on the Sonic board of IGN, there is this thread called Sonic Mania launch thread, and we're all having a pretty good time talking about Sonic and stuff. And then this user, I don't know how to pronounce his name yet, still, Mccausland88 or whatever, started shitting all over us, kind of ruining our little jam there that we were having. Calling all of us out, shitting on the Sonic Board podcast, Sonic Board users for not being real Sonic gamers, and the community, and how we don't invite anyone, and we're all kind of just standalone jerk offs. And then, he started going to other threads and trolling us here and there, and then inexplicably, I didn't pronounce that right. Shellblade, aka Collin, posted a YouTube video in which he then revealed or claimed to be this troll, Mccausland88.
Mccausland.
Mccausland88. And I was baffled. We were all kind of baffled, and so here we are today.
I would just like to point out that I immediately did not believe him in that video.
See, when I posted that video, it wasn't my expectation that anyone was going to believe me. Only things just kind of played out.
It was perfect because go on.
So So right after I post that video, Mccausland88, his replies seem to just kind of dry up. He makes only a couple more posts after this, one of which is expressing feigned surprise at the video. So it made it seem like I was posting through the Mccausland account, very on the nose, feigned surprise. And then I don't know what he thought he was doing. I mean, the guy is autistic, so, you know, he operates on another level. We got to get Frank in here to translate. But so he seems to comb through past posts, or maybe, I don't know, he searches for Funk or DL,
Yeah.
probably Funk, and he finds an old video of Funk in Japan. When he was, I don't know, you were drunk on the street.
I was fucking destroyed.
He was
Yeah.
allegedly drunk.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
yeah, and the best part is that right before this happened, I text Funk and I text to him, "It's not over yet."
Yeah.
And so it seemed like that was like the cap off to Mccausland88.
Because there's no real reason that somebody who wasn't, because that video predates the creation of his account, I believe. So there's no way
'cause
that
he
he
said
should
he
know
showed up-
about it.
He said he showed up 2 years ago, right?
Mhm.
2000,
Yeah, he showed up in
something like that.
2015. So
Well, I guess that's about the time, because that was 2015. It was like fall of 2015. But for, you know, just some random user to remember that video, like even if they saw it in passing like 2 years ago, was strange. So it was more confirmation that it was Collin in my eyes. Like everything lined up perfectly. And it's worth noting that to make an account months earlier, like before you need it, to spend months making threads on the Sonic board to line up with the explanation he gave in the YouTube video, and then to spend an afternoon or evening, I forget what time of day it was over there, just dicking with your friends over feigned autism, is exactly the kind of real autism that Collin has.
The thing that gets me is, like, he stopped posting altogether after that day. Like, he just showed up for that one day to shitpost and then just left. I don't get what his deal is.
his righteous crusade had ended. It had started on-topic discussion.
Yeah, but it's like he fought against us, everything we said against him for that whole night, and then just stopped. He just gave it up.
He was very keen to get prissy with any complaints. Especially, I mean, even though like most of everything that he was responding to was just Funk being bad at Sonic games.
Yeah, I'm a bit curious now because earlier I went into his profile and I brought up his post history, but now I go to it and it limits people who can view his profile. So
I think he was banned.
Oh, was he?
That would probably mean he was banned, right?
Oh, or unless he just edited his profile that makes it private.
Why would he get banned though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Is his thread that he posted the Funk video on? Is that still up?
I don't know. I ignored him, so
I can't see it.
I didn't ignore him despite saying that I did.
Oh.
It actually doesn't look like it is.
Yeah. So.
But who reported it?
So
Not
proof that I'm not OmegatheRobot88.
Yeah, because I remember I checked the Cosland's profile earlier, and he had other posts on different boards throughout the years, and so that'd be an extremely autistic setup for a Collin to do if that was true.
Collin.
Yeah, but see, that's the kind of thing you got to do to sell it.
Yeah, I said I commit Sudoku at the end. I report my own account.
What a mystery.
It was a very weird day.
I reported it as doxing because someone uses their full name in that video.
Oh man. someone.
Somewhere.
Well, in spite of Mccausland, we're actually going to talk about Sonic anyway. So
Oh my god.
Yeah.
let's have the Mania discussion. Who wants to give their thoughts on the best Sonic game in 20 years? That's right, folks. Sonic is back.
Sonic was
be
never
gone
good.
again later in November.
Hey, like I said earlier, we've been dunking on Sonic Forces a lot, but honestly, that game could be decent. I don't think it'll be great.
It's most likely gonna get like mid to low 70s on Metacritic, and people are gonna say it's okay.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be better than Lost World, but it's not gonna be as good as Generation.
Like the Lost World Jurassic Park.
But Matt, how about you tell us about the Sonic game that you just can't put down?
Fucking
Sonic
ignored.
Mania.
Huh?
Yeah, Funk can fuck off for like at least another minute, and then he can
Okay.
start being a Debbie Downer about Sonic Mania.
Okay, I guess I'll talk about Sonic Mania. I mean, I legitimately think that this is like the best Sonic, like one, not the best Sonic game, but it's definitely in the top 3 best Sonic games. Like there's Sonic CD, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and then there's this game. Like they're like the holy trinity of Sonic, I would say. It's got all the best aspects of the old series, brings in a lot of really great new ideas that feel like an actual sequel to like one of the classic Sonic games and not like a cheap, shitty hack job.
Not Sonic 4.
Not Sonic 4.
Yeah,
Sonic
just-
4 is just
It was
Despite-
so bad they took it off the elevator.
That floor doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, despite 8 out of the 12 zones being remakes, it doesn't feel like a rehash.
No.
For the most part.
Like the word like I'm not even sure. I was gonna think of a stage that's like just a straight up port, but I can't really think of a single stage that feels like it was
the first zone. So the first act of each of the older zones
Mhm.
feels really similar, and they do a good job of mixing up the Act 2.
Yeah, Act 2, like all the Act 2, I think the only zone that's has like an actually different Act 1 is Hydro City.
Hydrosity.
Hydrosity. It's also the only one in the game it's also like the worst stage in the game too, because
What?
for some reason,
What?
Act
No
1,
way.
Hydro City Act 1, and it's only because of the dumb bubble section.
It's, no way is it worse than Oil Ocean.
Yeah.
I-
That's
Oil
fine.
Ocean.
Fuck
Oil
you.
Ocean is really good.
No, it's
What?
not.
I like Oil Ocean. It's great.
Woo!
It's super fun.
Yeah,
I
okay.
unironically enjoy Oil Ocean Zone in this game.
This guys, my name's OmegatheRobot, and I know it's my first time on the Sonic podcast, but I have to say, Oil Ocean Zone is my least favorite level. And I think overall, it's still it's as far as Sonic levels go, it's fine, but I personally love this game. At first, I was a bit kind of okay on it, but I've grown to love this so much so that I went back and played the kind of like the original Sonic games to see how they held up. And what I noticed, I kind of mentioned this in the Sonic board, the 4:3 aspect ratio compared to the glorious kind of like widescreen of Sonic Mania makes Mania so much more fun, and I mean it gets kind of easier, but just much more enjoyable to play. While the 4:3 aspect ratio of like the original games makes it so much just more clunkier and just really annoying to play because you don't have enough distance or time to react to all the enemies coming at you. And so I think Sonic Mania might be my new favorite Sonic game.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, mechanically, I can't really argue that. Sonic Mania is just tighter thanks to that 16:9 and the 60 frames per second. It just works. It's just a tighter game. I've also, on a second playthrough, I found quite a bit more uses for drop dash, which were nice. Also, I'm playing through with Knuckles right now, and Knuckles is the shittiest character in this game.
Yeah.
But he gave me a greater appreciation for the boss fights. He made me like the levels less, but he made me like the boss fights more because he can't jump.
This fucking meme about how the boss fights are not good, they were my favorite part of the game, like legitimately.
I like the boss fights.
Like-
I don't think there's anything. They feel like Sonic bosses.
Yeah, they're not super difficult, but they are some of the most creative boss fights in the series. I mean, aside from the ones that are just like reused from past games, just like the stages.
Mhm.
But the newer bosses are like extremely creative in ways I was not expecting.
You thought the wrench robot in Oil Ocean Zone was creative?
I mean, it wasn't
Not
creative.
all of them.
It's not that bad though.
I mean, like, you know,
No,
Collin
I'm
has
just memeing.
Collin legitimately does have a thing about that boss. Which
he
is,
died. He died to that boss once and just hated it from that point on.
No, I did because regardless of its difficulty, I think it's a bad boss fight because there's no indication that you're going to get a crush death
I guess.
As soon
I
as-
mean, I
yeah.
would agree with that.
as
It
soon
is
as
kind
those
of
lids
unfair.
pop.
Those lids, though.
I do like how he's just goofy looking though.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, for me, the bosses are a mixed bag. Some are really hype, some are really fun, some, are to me kind of average. I can get through them pretty easily. But overall, I'd say they're a welcome addition to the franchise.
No, yeah, I liked these more engaging boss fights. I mean, if you go in with Sonic and Tails, they're not quite as fun. But if you're going in with just Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles, then they're actually pretty fun. I like the hard-boiled heavies as an addition to a classic cast, and I think that's sort of their intention if they go forward with sequels, is to introduce like a larger cast of classic characters. When what's funny is that we just had Lost World trying to introduce this cast of mini boss characters.
Oh god, they were so fucking bad.
Yeah, and they all
Bad.
sucked.
The
And now
Deadly Six.
Yeah, the Deadly Six, and now they introduced the hard-boiled heavies, and everyone just like, "Well, we want more hard-boiled heavies. Here's my hard-boiled heavy OC."
Well, I mean,
I-
I think the main difference with them is that with the Deadly Six, they're just really bland and stupid looking. Like the only one that I think people like is the girl, and that's just because people like to fucking make porn of
That's
her.
right, Matt.
And then, meanwhile, with the hard-boiled heavies, they all like you can kind of base, like they kind of have a personality, but you can see it just based off of their like move sets and just how they look.
Well, yeah, they
You
feel
just
like
look at. Huh?
yeah, they feel like something that would have come from those old '90s Sonic games. Like
Right.
they feel like something like
They're like
that-
they're like an evolution of the Egg Robos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're just
literally
really
what
cool.
they are.
All the fights involving them are the best ones in the game.
So I have no idea what these are. I just did a Google search for these.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, it sucks.
very confused. So I played Sonic Mania. I played it. I started
Can we
it up.
put "played" in quotes, in air quotes?
No, I played it. I got. I beat half of Hydrosity. And
Did you do the donkey cameo?
no, I didn't. This was like a week before I was made aware of that. The thing is that Hydrosity, I believe, is a second zone,
No,
right? No.
What are you
That's
talking
Chemical-
about,
that's
kid?
Chemical Planet.
Okay, I beat
Chemical
Chemical
Planet.
Planet. I beat Chemical Planet. So it goes Green Hill, Chemical Planet, Hydrosity.
No,
No.
Studio.
Hydrosity's like halfway through the game.
Are you kidding me?
It's-
What's the one with the mean bean machine?
That's
Chemical
Chemical Planet.
Are you kidding me? Okay, so I beat that. That was the last thing that I did.
Wait, so you didn't get the Hydro City?
No.
Wait a second, everyone stop right now. Funk. throughout your
Yeah.
entire life, have you thought Chemical Planet was Hydro City?
No. I know what Chemical Planet is, and I know what Hydrocity is, but I for some reason thought that Hydrocity was the one that had the mean bean machine boss, and not Chemical Planet. But that's wrong. I haven't played this game. I played this game. I bought it the day it came out, and I beat the first zone. I went to bed. Like 2 days later, I played it again, beat half of Hydrocity. No, I'm sorry, Chemical Planet. And I went to bed. And then next day, I played it the other half of Chemical Planet, went to bed, and I never touched it again. And I don't know if I ever will. It's just so boring. It's so boring.
You suck.
No, it's just
Ow.
let me preface this by saying something that I've said before in other places, but I've never been a huge fan of the old Sonic games. I played them a lot when I was a kid, but A, I was garbage at them. And B, anytime I tried to replay them past that, it has never held my attention. I enjoy other 2D platformers. It's not that. It's just these games in particular don't really gel with me. So, yes, it was not a good decision to buy Sonic Mania, given that its premise was being more of that. But, I had free money on PlayStation Network burned in a hole in my digital wallet. So, I've splurged and I bought it, and I regret my decision.
You played yourself.
I did. Yo, so in Chemical Planet, there's this part, I don't know if it's zone 1 or 2, but there's like, it's straight out of the original game. So there's like a big hallway on the right side of the zone that fills with water. And once you reach the top of it, you have to traverse back to the left, jumping on platforms on top of the water. And if you fall in, you got to go back to the right and climb the tower again. And I never died there, but I did fall into the water no less than 8 times.
That happened to me too, Punk, so I don't really blame you. It's very easy to fuck up on that part.
Yeah, and by the end of that, I was just so off of it.
The two
probably like the worst. Well, that is like one of the worst sections in the game.
So during that part, I actually got past the 2 moving platforms just fine. But the part immediately after that, I totally forgot about the platforms that flip around and will drop you if you wait on them.
It's never the moving platforms. It's always the fucking flipping platform.
Yeah.
Immediately after that, there's like this, if you like over jump, like if you're just heading to the left, like wantonly, you'll just jump back into the water. Because there's like some outcrop that you can go in, and it just drops you back down. You got to go all the way back to the right. And that's it. It's not like you're not directed there. It's if you're paying attention, it's not something that you're gonna get fooled into going in. But if you're just like, oh, now I'm going to the left, and you just keep holding left instead of jumping up at a certain point, you're just gonna fall back down. And that's not like a big flaw. That's just the player being dumb. That was me being dumb. But it happened. I had to go all the way back. I did not have a super fun time with Sonic Mania. But one thing that kind of blew my mind, I'm shocked at the amount of vitriol that Get Blue Spheres receives. I don't understand why everybody seems to dislike that game. I think it's a perfectly serviceable bonus stage and pretty fun to play on its own.
Blue Spheres is great.
Yeah. No, but when there was like a thread on the Sonic board about it, and people are like, oh, why did I bring back Blue Spheres? I don't want to fucking play Blue Spheres. Blah, blah, blah.
I love Blue Spheres.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like the best special stage in the series.
Sometimes when I play it too much, my eyes feel like they're like bleeding from their sockets because I don't know, something about the 3D, the ratio, like I don't know, the horizon or whatever will like make my eyes crossed and if I play too much. But it has a bit of a learning curve for me. At first, I kind of get annoyed with it, but as more as I play this game, I like it more.
There's definitely some trollish shit in just about every Blue Sphere stage.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
And I guess that's what pisses a lot of people off.
One of the worst.
I mean, there's trollish shit in like every single 2D Sonic stage, but obviously that's kind of why the ring mechanic is there. so that you can just kind of recover and keep going from the trollish shit. Was that Matt?
I was gonna say one of the like Red Spheres really likes to do that, especially when you're trying to go for perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's
Yeah,
one
but
stage.
why would you go for perfect?
So you get the gold medals.
Yeah, you unlock
Yeah.
stuff by completing them.
Well,
I mean, you don't-
Do
you don't-
unlock
you don't-
stuff by watching?
You don't unlock stuff by getting gold medals. You only need the silver ones. You don't need like gold doesn't unlock anything.
Then
It
what
just
the
gets you
hell's
an
the point of the
achievement.
gold medals?
Wait, is that what?
Self-fulfillment.
I didn't know that.
You only need
Oh.
silver medals to unlock stuff. So you first unlock what do you unlock first? You unlock, I think, the sound test first. You unlock the sound test, then you unlock the Mean Bean Machine minigame, and then you unlock if you beat all the blue sphere stages, you unlock the blue sphere minigame, and you can just play blue spheres for the rest of the
Good.
time.
So I only needed the silver medals.
Yes, you did not need the gold medals.
Oh, it's no use.
He knows. One of my favorite things, someone did a very comfy, like 24, 48 hour Get Blue Spheres stream.
Dark Spine Sonic.
Yep, and it's just great. Like, yeah, but when you play any given Get Blue Spheres level, just like how it always gets faster, the music gets faster, tension goes up. It's very, I find it very exciting. At least
is really
for the mass amount of excitement that a low effort, randomly generated special stage could give.
The
Go ahead, Matt.
oh, I was also just gonna mention like the actual like Chaos Emerald stages.
They're
too.
really fun.
They are really good.
I only beat 2 of them, but they're really fun.
I did. Am I the only one who actually got like all the Chaos Emeralds and got?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I got them all eventually.
Oh, you did?
With
Okay.
every character, yeah. It wasn't easy, but I eventually was able to master those UFO levels.
They're not that difficult when you kind of figure out the trick is just to not really care that much about going into the rough
That's the trick of life, man.
and just
Don't
and
care
not
that
jumping
much.
as much.
Yeah, just maintain your speed and just, make sure you don't fuck up or anything.
It took me like 6
Basically.
tries just to get the 3rd one.
Some of them are really hard. Like
Yeah.
the fourth one is legitimately very difficult.
Yeah, what's the one? Is that the 4th one with the triple jump? It's like 2 ring orbs and like a power-up orb. You kind of do it.
Yeah, there's 2 ring orbs, and then there's one that just immediately upgrades your Mac.
Yeah.
That one, like that one's a little difficult. Some of the stage layouts are just difficult too, but once you get a hang of it, it's not that hard. Max speed.
Kenny's just listening in.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, can we address the second biggest mystery of the night, and
Uh-oh.
why Sonic 3 and Knuckles guy, Mr. Kenny there, doesn't want to play Sonic Mania?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Kenny,
What?
you love 2D Sonic. Why do you not want to get this game?
I have this game. What are you talking about?
When did you get the game?
I bought it day 1.
Have you played it?
Yes.
Have you beaten it?
Yes.
How come you have not said anything about this game?
For this day. For
Are
this
you fucking
particular day.
serious?
Oh my god.
Has Kenny been next leveling us his entire life?
All right, Kenny, did you push the spikes? That's all that matters.
I did.
Okay.
And I found out you could push the rocks too, which made it even, it was like a bonus.
Kenny, did you gas the kikes? That's all that
Whoa.
matters.
Whoa.
Did you find the
This
spikes
just-
you can push in Oral Ocean, Kenny?
The what?
You can push spikes in Oral Ocean too.
I don't know. I try to avoid that level because it sucks.
You can't avoid
Thank
it.
you.
This game managed to put each of my least favorite Sonic levels in it.
Yeah, I want to say, like, of all the classic Sonic games, Oil Ocean Zone is the one that I keep forgetting actually existed. Like,
Yeah.
I would play Sonic 2 and get to that, and I was like, oh, that's right, this is here.
Although it was
the
kind of cool.
funny thing is,
It was kind of cool that you could like light the oil on fire if you had like the fire shield. That's pretty cool.
That's
a
is
nice
awesome.
touch.
The best part,
Maybe
you'll never know. You will never know true joy until you've gotten into the octopus boss with a fire shield and just spread nothing but chaos across the screen.
Absolute madman.
But yeah, Steve. The funny thing is, every time I get to Oil Ocean Zone in Sonic Mania, I also forget that it exists because it looks like you're going into like Metallic Madness Zone at first with the transition, and it's like, all right, Metallic Madness. And it's like, oh, Oil Ocean. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and also Oil Ocean Zone is when they kind of stop the cool transitions and stuff, and they just kind of put you in each stage, which is a bit disappointing.
That's like the one part of the game that feels completely unfinished.
But yeah, it is unfinished. I heard that the animators actually ran out of time, so they just
oh my god
didn't finish.
Which is pretty insane that this game was going to be released in late 2016.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Because imagine just how little we would have gotten. Like, what were they doing all that time?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very glad this was delayed.
Yeah.
What we got was great.
Sure was.
And I love how huge these levels are, and I know that's a staple of classic Sonic. It's just I was playing through just yesterday, and I got to Flying Battery, and there was a whole lower section of the level with hazards I had no idea existed in it.
You never take the low route in a Sonic game.
I know.
Yeah. Duh.
Bad.
It's you're directed towards the upper route, but it's slightly more difficult to like time all your jumps well on the higher route.
I just learned like
hold
the
on.
other day.
Wait, did you guys hear that?
What?
Did you hear that?
What?
Collin said both route and route in the same sentence in the span of 3 seconds.
Our Farah shot their Farah.
Oh my god. I was
Whoa.
I was just gonna say I just learned like for the first time the other day that there's actually a
Don't
bottomless
eat the
pit.
pencil. God damn, you stupid cat.
There's actually a bottomless pit in Green Hill Zone Act 2, which I never realized existed.
Yeah, I liked how in this game Knuckles, his mode, there's like actual variance in some of his levels, especially in Mirage Saloon. That first act is completely different.
It's also way better.
Yeah, yes, that's also true. So I wish the same was for Tails. His Tails mode is pretty much kind of the same as Sonic, but
yeah, no one gives a shit about Tails.
I guess
Tails
not.
is for stupid babies.
Tails is for your kid fucking brother.
Yeah.
Like you run through this game as Sonic, and then to be a cool guy, you run through as Knuckles, and that's it. Those are your only options. If you run through as Tails, as anything other than a completionist thing, you can get out of here.
I
played
Sonic and Tails duo.
I did Sonic and Tails first, then Tails, then Knuckles. I was gonna do a playthrough as just Sonic, but I just decided, whatever.
Oh, I just finished a playthrough of Sonic. I did the same thing, Matt, and I just finished with just Sonic.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm in that deep.
Also, the music in this game is fucking dank as hell.
Oh yeah, that exists.
Jesus Christ.
It is probably the most dank sounds my ears have ever been witnessed to. It's so good. I mean, everyone who knows about this game probably knows about the music, but yeah, it is amazing.
I mean, let's ask Funk, who thinks all video game music is bad forever.
This is true. So sure as it is that Catherine will be Game of the Year and that the sun will rise in the morning, all video game music is trash.
So sad.
But I unfortunately don't recall. I remember enjoying it, but I don't recall any specifics from the 2 stages that I played.
To have the same music, basically, as the classic stages?
You didn't even
Well,
get.
I mean, that's why I enjoyed Chemical Planet so much because
Yes,
Chemical
it
Planet's
does have the
theme
best
is-
music in the entire series.
Yes, and it's fantastic. I assume it would keep up music quality over the course of the game, but I have no fucking clue. I wasn't gonna play through that.
Can you imagine?
I didn't even know about these heavies.
But they appear in the first cutscene.
I thought they were all Egg Robo.
No, they turn into the hard-boiled heavies in that cutscene.
Wait, what?
Wait, is that the lore?
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I played through a second time. But yeah, the Phantom, that little ruby gem thing, turns them into the hard-boiled heavies.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It also apparently is
Infinite
what-
turn them into the hard-boiled heavies.
It is apparently what leads them into Sonic Forces. Then
Why aren't they in Sonic Forces?
Huh.
Maybe they are.
There's a
Maybe
massive
they
part of the
are.
Rogues Gallery that's missing in this group shot. We don't have the Bio Lizard. We don't have Dark Gaia.
King Boom Boom.
We don't have King Boom Boom. They brought him back and they brought him into like the villain team. That'd be cool.
Collin?
Well, no,
Yeah.
everyone talks about Boom Boo, but no one talks about that big golem that just sinks into the sand.
No
What,
one
egg-
likes
egg-
the egg
the
golem.
Egg Golem.
Wait, they gotta hire Spider Troop Bigfoot onto the villain team. He's a mercenary. He only answers the money.
What was the other one that flew around? Like
I don't
Hornet or
know.
something?
It's like Big Dog or something.
No, that was Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yell would know this. It's the one that
Yes.
fights Rouge.
Yeah, I know that one. I don't remember its name. Damn it. Oh, you know what? They gotta get Black Doom and Black Bull on there. You know.
And don't forget the
Black
gun
Bolt, he
commander.
said.
The Gun Commander.
No, but he's technically a good guy.
I don't
What was-
believe you.
What was that robot? Oh, Diablon.
Who?
What?
His
Literally,
robot.
who?
The robot you fight the Gun Commander in.
Oh,
Where he
okay.
says,
What
"Hold
the
still, you devil."
Who else? Oh, they gotta get Eggman Nega in there. Captain Whisker, Johnny, his
my God.
sidekick Johnny.
No,
Methodist
Johnny.
Ark?
All right,
Is that the
General.
pirate? Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh
God.
God, General.
Who is the villain of Sonic Battle?
It's
It was
well,
Eggman.
yeah, but also Emerald is the character you play as, and then he becomes Gemerald in Sonic Advance 3. That's
he
the
wasn't
war.
a bad guy.
No, he's not a bad guy anymore, but neither was Shadow, and he's on the villain team.
Who was the bad guy of Sonic Shuffle?
Oh wait, it was
some
it was like a
weird
fairy.
anime fairy thing.
Yeah, Void. Void.
Void. Yeah, I think that's.
I knew Funk would know this.
Oh, they gotta get Eraser Jin.
It was Void. I was right.
Oh my God.
Who is this guy? Who's Jin?
Eraser Jin from Sonic and the Secret Rings. I can't remember a single fucking line of his, so I can't meme about him.
Remember when Sonic wished for like endless tissues? or
Tissues for fapping or whatever. I don't know. He's-
What in God's name are you talking about?
Do they have
He's
to get?
talking-
Do they have to get the titular Black Knight?
I have no idea what you guys are
no,
talking
the
about right
villain
now.
of Sonic and the Black Knight is Merlina.
Yeah,
Who?
the
Oh,
Dark
yeah.
Queen or something.
Let's get the villain
Twist.
from Sonic X, Dark Oak.
Sonic has quite the extensive rogues gallery.
Oh my God.
No, but it's it's just good. They got one of the fucking Deadly Six in the game though. He deserved to be there.
Was it the big one or is it the old guy?
The big
It's,
one.
it's,
It's the
the
big
big
one.
one is Zax or whatever.
Zavok.
Savok.
Yeah.
Spax.
I'll just I'll never be able to get over the fact that you fight the all Deadly Six in the last stage of Lost World, and then they just never appear again for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Sonic just fucking kills those guys.
They just die. They're just dead
No,
now.
they show up at the Olympics.
Oh yeah, you're right. They do.
They were really hedging their bets on the Deadly Six being a hit.
Well, and then they realized that they couldn't actually finish Lost World, and then just made the final boss a recolor of Sonic Colors.
Yes.
Final boss.
They literally just took the Colors final boss and redid it.
Oh my god.
Well,
Seriously-
it's good that Sonic's back.
It is.
For now.
For the next month or so.
Can't
So-
wait till we get to play as our own fan character.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
I mean, at least we can have fun shit posting to each other about the shit we make. Then again, I don't think anyone's gonna buy that game.
You better believe I'm making a thread where we're all going to post our OCs.
I am buying that game day fucking one.
Yeah. It's only $40. It's a
The thing
discount
is-
game.
It's pretty cheap for
It's
Do you
a
get
steal.
to name your character in that game?
You do, but they only call him Buddy.
Well, what I mean is that can we all make like Kenny the Hedgehog?
I was actually gonna name mine like Steve or Funk or whatever.
Oh, I'm naming mine Mule. You know that.
Oh my god. Christ.
All right, Colin,
What?
we're going to have this Splatoon 2 discussion.
What?
Oh, boy.
That didn't sound very confident on your part.
No,
Like we're gonna
It's
have
just
this
that I-
Splatoon 2 discussion.
it's because I don't think you're going to like what I have to say. So I don't think Splatoon 2 is better than Splatoon 1.
What the heck?
I just,
Is that
I
a
just don't
clip-
think it's...
Is that a cliffhanger for you going on break, or are we actually talking about it right now?
Oh,
I
no,
thought-
we're talking about it right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I don't think Splatoon 2 is better than Splatoon 1.
Oh, well, why do you feel that way, Steve?
I had less fun playing it, and a big
Now-
reason is...
Hmm.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's part of that could just be it being like a sequel. It's not as novel as the first game was, so it's just not going to be as exciting to play.
Kind of, that is part of it, is that, it is largely the same game, but I really don't like that they nerfed everything. It made, like, I get for balancing reasons why they took away a lot of those special abilities, but it just makes the game feel kind of limp compared to the first game. I really don't think the 5 maps, the 5 new maps in that game are really any good. They all kind of feel the same. They lack the kind of map geometry diversity that the first game has. There's just weren't enough stages in general. Like, it launched with only 7. And, a lot of the problems that the first game had that we forgave it for, because it was new, like the lack of stages and a lot of the online shit, those problems should have been corrected in this game, and they just weren't. So, even though it had, like, Salmon Run, which is probably the most fun that I've had in, like, either of the games. Like, that mode is great. But even then, they have to ruin that by saying you can't play it anytime you want. You gotta play it on certain days of the week. It's just a lot of little nagging shit about that game that I'm less forgiving of it for. Especially because there have been other multiplayer games that have come out in the meantime that I have enjoyed a lot more, that I just don't look at Splatoon 2 the same way I looked at Splatoon 1. And I feel bad because, Collin really wants people to play ranked with, but I just can't bring myself to get invested in Splatoon 2.
I mean, I can play ranked. I'm just never around.
So, I think that it's a completely fair assessment to not like Splatoon 2 as much as Splatoon 1 because it is derivative without making major improvements. That being said, Steve has not played competitive at all or ranked at all, and
That's not true. I've played a little bit, but
the-
not with anyone.
the nerfs to the weapons, or like it's not necessarily the nerfs to the weapons, it's just the removal of the invincibility specials, make ranked so much more fun and so much fairer.
Far.
Excuse me, far.
I just don't
You think
feel
you're
like
funny? You think this is cute?
I just I just don't feel like the specials and the sub weapons are as fun to use as the first game.
Well, it's just that the immediate impact for them, you might not understand, like the practical use. It's not just gonna like you're gonna throw it out and things just happen, right? It's you need to think about where exactly you're going to make that impact, and it's going to be a lot more potent, I think, in Splatoon 2 when you actually get your way. I think the maps, I think you make a fair point about map diversity, but I also got to say that I really like that the maps are all around just lower to the ground, because that has made chargers way less annoying to deal with than they were in the first game.
But, like, why is there even that weapon in the game to begin with? Because it just doesn't feel like it fits with anything else. Like, it feels like they put it in there because they felt like they needed to have a sniper rifle.
No, well, no.
In a game that doesn't really need one.
Well, but they're really great for support in that game, where they can clear a path for you if you're surrounded and people are encroaching on you.
If you're a good sniper...
Yeah,
they're
they're
I'm
really
not
good
saying
at
you can't
making
get-
space for you in a game where you need to move around a lot.
I'm not saying you can't get value out of it. I'm just saying, like, that's all people do is bitch about it. So, like, why?
Hey, you don't bitch if you are one.
Damn.
What? No, I'm not. I don't really play Chargers myself.
But, like,
I know Matt does.
your
but...
point
Not really.
just was the game reduces the impact of that weapon. So that was obviously an issue in Splatoon 1 for you.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely an issue, because it was far too easy for them to find a safe place. It was too easy for them to make high impact plays and basically control the entire game. Now if the enemy has a charger on Moray Towers, it's not immediate GG if you don't. Although it's still a bit of an uphill battle.
It is, and I do like the improvements they made to that map. But when you have, like, these 5 maps that all look and feel the same, like, there's just nothing memorable about them to me. They feel completely interchangeable with one another. Like, even in terms of the visual design of them, they all kind of look the same.
Yeah, I will say myself, there are two, like I said before, that like Splatoon 2 is pretty much an improvement in every way. The maps are probably the only thing that, like, I will say the maps are definitely not as good or as interesting as the ones in Splatoon 1. And they're just not memorable. I don't know. Like the one skate park one in Splatoon 2 I really like. But the other ones I don't even remember their names really.
Because every map had a unique aspect to it in the first game.
Yeah, they really
the battle
did.
kind of revolved around that, but it was different for every map. Whereas in this game, every battle kind of plays out the exact same because the maps are the exact same.
Yeah, the maps are a downgrade from Splatoon 1, but that's probably the only thing I would say is worse. Well, and the final boss is not as good as the one in Splatoon 1. It's still fun.
Yeah,
though.
the final boss is way too derivative of Splatoon 1's. It
It's
even
also-
uses like a remix of the music.
Yeah. Although I did like the Sonic Adventure 2 grinding section. Just
Well,
the fact that
that
this game has grinding is great.
That loses its impact a little bit for me when you realize that you don't actually have to switch rails.
I mean, yeah, I know.
You just
And
need to
don't-
jump.
You really don't, but it is just fun.
Oh, Marie's the best girl still, so
Oh yeah, she is
just
definitely.
pointing that out.
That is true. I mean,
are we including the new girls in this conversation too?
Yes.
We are.
just the fact. I mean, just the fact that she just
Seething.
straight up fucking headshots Callie is great.
Yeah. Oh wait,
What?
Octo Samurai is a great fight but only in the one that's tailored for the single player experience. When you go back on repeated playthroughs and you go back with any other weapon for the Octo Samurai fight, it's over in 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, he's insanely easy when you use anything other than the fucking roller.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Splatoon 2 is automatically better just because of the umbrella.
I went through the
umbrella-
entire single-player campaign with the umbrella.
Oh my god. The umbrella is my favorite new weapon. It's just great.
Definitely, it's a lot of fun. Especially when your teammates actually use it.
Yes.
As I say, use your cover that you're providing, not use the umbrella
Oh yeah.
themselves.
The what am I trying to say? Oh, yeah, the other thing is, yeah, the specials are definitely not as interesting or as good. I do kind of miss the Kraken a little bit. I know we kind of have that in the form of the ball.
The ball fucking sucks.
It does suck though. It is really bad. But I think that I am very happy to see that they apparently actually have buffed the Stingray, so it's not complete garbage.
See, I kind of figured out the Stingray after a little while.
I did too, but it definitely needed a they definitely needed a buff. Apparently, the new patch that they're doing pretty much is straight up buffing a lot of the specials to make them a little bit more viable. Because I think they realized they nerfed them a little. They made the specials a little too weak.
Well, I haven't used the hamster ball yet, but I'm sure it does suck as much as you guys are saying.
It's not very good. I mean, the best one is the best ones are definitely Splashdown and the and Justice Reigns from Above.
The rocket one.
Yes.
Yeah.
All I know is
wait.
is
Are you talking
Splatoon
about?
1.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Matt.
Wait, are you talking about?
You mean wait?
Are you talking about the jetpack or
yeah?
the?
Okay, yeah. I was talking about the jetpack one.
Yeah, I was talking about that too. Although I do really like the Rocket Barrage one too.
That one has actually, because when you first see it, you're like, this one kind of looks shitty, and then it's actually fucked me over
and then you realize how to use it, and it's like, wow, this is actually amazing.
But that's my thing with these special weapons is that honestly, if you get kills with them, it feels like it's only because the enemy is just fucking dumb.
I mean, that is true.
It just seems completely random or lucky if you get a kill with it.
I mean,
it's kind of true.
I mean, Splatoon is already all about getting people when they're off guards. It's pretty low time to kill, and it's about being able to move around in ink unseen.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that in Splatoon 1.
Whoa, did you just hiss at me?
I didn't hiss at you.
Whoa.
All I'm saying is, in Splatoon 1, I had my fucking roller with the Kraken and the sonar thing, and that was my go-to weapon, and there's nothing even close to that in this game. Even the fucking sonar things that you can jump to fucking doesn't work if you use a Pro Controller. At best I can figure, there's no way to select it using the map feature. I think the only way you can use it is if you use the touchscreen. Unless they've patched that in, I don't know. But I kept trying to use it and it didn't work. And I got mad at that. So
I've never actually tested that, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I know, because it's not as prevalent in this game. It felt like a big part of Splatoon 1.
It was. I think it's because the maps in Splatoon 1 were just better suited for it.
I think
they're not in this game.
Yeah, the only special that I miss is Echolocator.
Oh yeah.
Which was the dankest special in Splatoon 1.
I do miss what was that stage called that was really big, and it was there you had
the Flounder
spawns.
Heights.
Well, you had the spawns on each side, and then you had the little middle area, and you had this kind of area in between everything that's in the back.
Oh, Salt Spray Rig?
Yes, I do miss that map a lot. That's one of my
best
favorite
map.
That was the best map, and there's really nothing like that in this game.
Yeah, I would absolutely love Salt Spray Rig to come back, because that one was pretty great.
Instead, they decided to bring back, what's it called? The one that's just
Port Mackerel?
Port Mackerel.
Oh, God. I mean, they sort of fixed it in competitive or in ranked.
Yeah.
Where they add, the sponges, and they only have one splat zone when you play splat zones.
Right.
So it's a big improvement, but it's still fucking port mackerel.
Yeah, it's not that great.
It's so lame. Port mackerel sucks. They should have brought back like Flounder Heights or Black Belly Skate Park, or what was the anything but Arowana Mall.
Oh yeah,
Arowana Mall was by far the worst.
That was
What
awful.
was the one that was like? It was like a summer camp here
Camp
kind of thing.
Triggerfish.
Yeah.
Camp Triggerfish.
That stage was amazing.
I'm amazed that you guys know these all by name.
I don't remember any of them.
We played quite a bit of Splatoon.
Yeah, we played. It was like a game I played almost every day for like a good solid 6 months after it came out.
I played over 100 hours of it. I do remember that.
So wait, I just got to point out that Steve and I only got this game because DL was an idiot and got it without asking anybody.
And then we played with DL like once.
Yeah, and then DL doesn't even have the common decency to get on this podcast and talk about Splatoon 2.
I would love it if he was just like at his girlfriend's family's place. He's like, guys, quiet! No one podcast!
Talk about Splatoon! Read!
My one experience with Splatoon 2 is seeing a bunch of Japanese elementary and preschoolers go ape shit over it anytime you say the word Splatoon, which is really just hammering home that this is a game for babies.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
God.
We had a good time playing Splatoon 1 with Kenny that one time.
Yeah,
that was
we had a really fun time.
That one and only time.
I mean,
Kenny,
you still have your
you're-
Wii
you're-
U, right?
I still have my Wii U.
Remember when Kenny got a Wii U somehow?
I don't have
Somehow.
I don't have Splatoon 1 anymore.
Oh
I
my
don't.
God.
I don't either. I kind of
I
feel
don't
like getting
have
it
a
again
Wii U anymore.
just to have it.
Did you bring your Switch with you, Funk?
I did actually.
You just
So
haven't bought anything else for it yet other than Zelda?
no, I've been working my way through the Zelda DLC. I did the first like step of that trial thing before I left, and I haven't turned my Switch on since getting here. But you know, I'm gonna get Mario. I wanted to get Mario Rabbids, but I haven't really had time to play it, so that'll probably fall by the wayside. There's some other game too. I don't really know what's happening with the Switch, but I have it. Thank God I have it. Otherwise, fuck. What the hell?
Okay.
So
He's
it
got a
ends.
Japanese cold.
Jesus, I'm off it. Someone else go.
Did you say you're a Muppet?
No, I said I'm off it. Someone else talk about my Switch.
About the Switch? Hey, where's the
About
Switch
my
virtual...
Switch.
Oh, where's Funk Switch's virtual console?
Did you pre-order your SNES Classic?
No.
Aren't those like
Oh,
things for idiots to buy?
But it's Star Fox 2 on it.
they're for
Yeah.
gamers.
Oh wait, wasn't
Yeah.
Star Fox 2 like not a real game?
No, it was a real game. It was a never released game.
Ah, I see.
The best kind of games.
So like Star Fox 2 will be officially eligible for Game of the Year awards this year because it's the official release of that game.
Oh my god.
Oh,
We gotta make it sweep the V's,
Oh my god.
whatever they're called.
That's a fucking great plan.
The Video Game Awards?
Right.
the V's.
The least worst game of the year.
I'm down with that.
They say they'll get more Reddit every year, and I disagree because they were the most Reddit in the first year. But it was the most
Explain.
publicized. It got the most publicity in its first year. So it had the least amount of filtered votes. Just
But do the
Remember-
results reflect the Reddit?
yeah, I mean,
What was the least worst game last year?
I forget. Wasn't it
Wasn't
Doom?
it like Sneed?
yeah, it was
Sneed?
Doom. Doom basically swept the awards last year.
Because it was like the
God.
only game that V liked that came out last year.
Yeah, they even gave Doom Guy best character, which I also
Oh yes.
voted. I voted for him for that too.
Wow, Collin, you're such a little memester.
Yeah, he was the best character though.
He is unironically a great character in that game. He shows a lot of expression through his silent violence.
He even saves the little AI guy at the end.
Yes.
So he's a Doom guy with a heart of gold.
He's always had a heart of gold. He loves his bunny.
He fist bumps the little like stuffed Doom guy too.
One more last.
One more last fist bump.
Go like my post, Steve.
I did last night or the night before, or whenever I talked to you last.
All right.
All right, we're gonna take a break, and we'll find stuff to talk about after the break. So we'll be right back.
Well, I hope we find it during the break.
Oh,
Hello, welcome back to the Sonic Board podcast. So there's something I wanted to bitch about tonight, but I was hoping Frank would be here because he's the only other person who watched through the whole fucking thing. And that'd be
We can pretend like we
that'd
did.
be the fucking Netflix Death Note movie.
oh, I got through 50 minutes of it, and I stopped
Only
watching.
50? So okay,
Yeah.
what was the point that made you decide to stop watching?
I think it stopped being I mean, it obviously, like, right off the bat, it's a terrible movie.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good, and it continues to be terrible, but then it just became so terrible that it just wasn't fun anymore, and so I figured this isn't really worth it. And honestly, I had it on in the background for a while, and I forgot it was on, and so I turned it off. I just remembered the 50-minute mark.
Have
so.
you watched the Death Note anime? Omega?
I mean, I remember when it first came out, I watched like the first couple episodes, and I knew the general premise. I knew like the characters in general, so I could relate to how terrible it was.
Collin, how many clips of this movie did you watch?
Maybe like 7 minutes worth. But there are 7 minutes of highlights.
Did you see the one of L chasing Light through that fucking warehouse?
Yes. Yes.
I'll link to that in the thread when I make it. That is it's like some fucking Slender Man shit. Like, why did they make him run like that?
I don't like how this movie exists is baffling. I don't know, like okay, I get Death Note movie, got it, but like just how completely and utterly backwards the tone is of this movie from the original, Death Note is just so weird, and how they thought this would be a good idea and people would like this is just truly strange.
I think the worst part is the director is actually a huge Death Note fan.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think he hated Death Note.
Yeah.
It like, judging from what I've seen from it, it feels like it was made by somebody who has literally never watched the original show.
Yeah, it's like they
And just
only
watched, like-
it's like they only knew like the important parts and then cherry pick those.
Yeah.
So it gets those kind of beats right for the most part, but it's all just surface level stuff. Like, the characters are just completely wrong. Because I went back and watched like the first few episodes of the anime the other day, and it's like you get in like the first thing Light says, you get a complete sense of his motivations and like how someone like him would come to do the things he does when he gets a hold of the Death Note. Whereas like Light in this movie is just like a stupid fucking petulant teenager, and he's smart. They establish that because he helps people cheat on their homework. But at no point do you ever get a sense of his worldview, so that like when he gets a hold of the Death Note, like he just switches to that for no reason. Like, I'm just going to be justice and I'm going to kill all the bad guys. Like, they don't really establish that.
Right.
You have the Light in the anime who devised this fucking ingenious trap in his desk drawer that would fucking set the Death Note on fire if anyone came close to tampering with it. Whereas the Light in this fucking shitty live action movie, the first thing he does is start like looking at the Death Note in the stands of like a basketball game, completely out in the open. He makes no attempt to hide it.
Yeah.
And that's how Mia gets involved.
He just immediately gives her access to it.
Yeah, he basically just like brags about it to her.
He doesn't even try to hide that he's Kira from L.
This
It's like-
movie is bad even if you've never seen or heard of Death Note.
Yeah.
It's just overall like a shitty horror movie, and why Netflix would produce this shit is unforgivable.
Well, I mean, they are also producing a Jaden Smith starring anime as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be next level. I don't know what you're talking about.
And
Can we get a
you know,
next level count going for this podcast?
it's not bad at all to not judge this movie by its own merits, because as I've gone on record as saying, it's like something like this, its merits are not its own.
Well, it's like
I don't-
if you're making it as an adaptation of the original, which they are, like it just draws in greater comparison, like how
You
inferior
absolutely
this
should
is.
compare it.
Like if you just took the concept of a Death Note and wrote your own original story about it with like American actors in American City, I think that's fine. I think I would be fine with that if they made
That's
something
totally
good with
fine.
it. Whereas this, it's like it just comes off as like the 4Kids version of Death Note, right down to fucking the name Light Turner. Like it's totally something 4Kids would do. But it's just like it just it stretches even so far the concept of the Death Note to areas that just doesn't make any sense. Like I haven't watched the entire series in a while, but I'm pretty sure in the original Death Note you couldn't just take a page of the Death Note from someone and use it to kill people, because that kind of defeats the purpose of the Death Note having an owner if anyone can use it. That happens in this movie. What was the other thing?
Doesn't he literally write himself surviving something that he wouldn't be able to in the Death Note?
Yeah, so the whole climax of the movie is just him writing this elaborate situation that doesn't involve like people. He just writes a scenario in which things that would be out of people's control happen, and it just stretches the believability of what the Death Note can do. And the whole scenario at the end is kind of the closest thing to the original that it gets, because it's actually Light devising a smart plan to try and clear himself of suspicion. But it's just done in such a ridiculous, nonsensical way that just completely stretches your sense of disbelief in this whole concept.
So, Steve,
Yes.
in this movie, how much suspicion is Light under by anyone other than L?
None.
Yeah, I don't think.
In fact, L pretty much figures out Light's identity like right away. Like there's almost no cat and mouse game going on here, because L figures it out, then he has someone like follow Light for a bit, then he confronts Light, and then you're at the end of the movie. And it's very much a byproduct of taking like a 26 episode arc and condensing it into a 2-hour movie. It just doesn't work, and they skip over so much to get to where they need to go that you can absolutely tell the parts that they had to cut out to make this work. I would say on the movie's behalf, there are some decent performances. Like, I really like the guy who was playing Light's dad. Like, he did about as well as you could in that role.
Oh, the guy who always has sideburns?
Yeah. I really like Hanzo Shimada's performance as Watari. That was pretty good.
So is that actually Hanzo's actor?
It is actually Hanzo's voice actor playing that role, yes. And he does a full-on Hanzo. Oh, that reminds me of something else that was really dumb.
Shit, yeah.
In the movie, Light actually takes control of Watari by writing Watari in the Death Note, despite the fact that is not Watari's name. And the rules very clearly state you have to write someone's full name. It's just like another example of how they just clearly didn't have an understanding of their original story. Whoever the hell wrote this.
Or they did and they just didn't care.
Oh, yeah, that's also very likely. And Willem Dafoe as fucking Ryuk is about as perfect as casting as you can get for this movie.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he sounded great.
He basically did his fucking Green Goblin voice the entire movie, and it was great. But that's really about the only praise I can give this movie.
Oh my god. The only thing I've seen of this movie where I already mentioned this earlier with Steve, but the Adam Sandler screaming when he first meets Ryu.
Yeah.
My God, that is probably like up there in new bad movie canon as like one of the new classic bad movie scenes. It's just so bad.
It is legitimately like The Room, Tommy Wiseau tier in terms of bad acting. Like it's bad. And then and also I also saw the Ferris wheel scene.
Yeah.
Where what's her name? Mira?
Mia.
Mia, where she dies.
Yeah. And
fucking just the part where he's like, Ryuk, I took it back. I take it back, Ryuk. It's like, come on, man. You're fucking light.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be light.
He is. So the light in this live action version is just playing like the typical male anime protagonist, as opposed to the light of the anime, which was anything but.
Right.
And also, this movie's just like weird, like Final Destination shit with the deaths they pull. Just like takes you out of the movie completely. When someone gets fucking decapitated by a ladder.
Yeah, it was very 90s in that aspect. As a matter of fact, this movie felt like it should have came out in like the late 90s or something.
Yeah,
just how cheap it was.
Steve.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you if one scene is in the movie from the anime.
Okay.
You know what it is?
Is it the chip eating scene?
Is the chip eating scene in the anime or in the movie?
There's not. No, there's not a chip eating scene, as best as I can recall.
Well, I'm glad I didn't fucking watch it then.
That's how you know they had no real love for the manga or anime.
Yeah.
Is there a scene where Light teaches them how to swim?
No, and there's not a homoerotic foot washing either, unfortunately. Also,
the amount of times you've said the phrase homoerotic foot washing, large number.
Someone just needs. We just need to have a yearly homoerotic foot washing count going on every year.
So that reminds me of a point I want to make about L, because L is another character they completely got wrong in this movie. You know, in the original, he's very like calm and calculating and like one step ahead of his opponent. Whereas in this one, like as soon as like something happens to Watari, he just becomes like an unhinged emotional mess that completely spirals out of control. And it's just like you could not have missed the point of this character any more than you did. Not to mention it's kind of a thing I'm noticing a bit with fiction these days, where you can't just have a character who's like smart and eccentric anymore. They have to justify it by saying that character is autistic. And
yeah,
like,
they all got to be damaged or have some sort of
and like
fucked up shit to
L's character description in this movie specifically says he's autistic. So
oh my god,
he's literally autistic.
Yeah, I miss the days where you can just have a character who is just fucking smart and eccentric without also being autistic. Like you don't have to explain it that way. People can just be smart.
It's kind of like the this is going to normie territory, pardon me, but like with the James Bond movies, each James Bond movie now has to have James Bond, especially with these Daniel Craig ones, have James Bond have some sort of fucked up shit happen to him. He's going rogue, and gone are the days of just Sean Connery being a simple, just smart, badass guy. Now you have, like Steve was saying, all these characters being autistic. And I looked up the director of this Death Note movie, and here are some of his credits. So he's pretty much known for directing a bunch of shitty horror shorts nobody's seen. But he directed those VHS movies. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those. But then he's slated to direct in 2020. He is directing the Godzilla vs. King Kong movie.
No way. God.
Yeah, so have fun with that while I go kill myself.
That's disappointing.
At least we got Shin Godzilla.
Yes, an actual good Godzilla movie.
I mean, the 2014 one was okay.
Yeah, it
Well, I
wasn't
guess there's
bad, but compared to
It's like
Godzilla.
it's very much in the spirit of the classic Godzilla movies. It's just like it could have been a bit more. They could have handled the introduction of Godzilla a lot better instead of just like blue ballsing us for like an hour until he finally shows up. But I don't know. I thought it was an okay movie. I'm still looking forward to the sequel, but not so much the Godzilla vs. Kong anymore. Now that you told me that information, Omega.
Yeah, neither am I. I was kind of hyped for it, but now I think I'll just pass.
I do want to see how they explain how the fuck King Kong can fight Godzilla despite not nearly being as big as he is.
Because
I'll tell you, because in Kong Skull Island, which I saw, unfortunately, they mentioned that in that movie, which takes place in 1970s, that Kong is just a baby and he's got way much more growing to go. And that's a line they throw out off screen, so clearly it was edited.
Still better than that fucking Universal monster movie, fucking cinematic universe.
I think they're gonna wait. I think they're gonna give
Universe.
I think they're gonna give King Kong a gun.
What?
What?
They're gonna give King Kong like a really big gun, and he's gonna be able to fight Godzilla with it.
Is this a reference to something?
No, he's gonna have a really like imagine a gun.
And a motorcycle.
But like really big.
Does it shoot bananas?
It shoots coconuts, you idiot!
Oh my god.
Anyway, so
Funko
to
Pop
summarize, they took a series that was enjoyed by edgy teenagers, and they thought, well, edgy teenagers aren't going to understand this, and so they dumbed it down even further.
You gotta make it relatable to American audiences. You gotta have Light be the victim of bullies and want to take revenge on his bullies.
Because like a model student met Chad turning out to be a mega sociopath. That's not interesting at all. That's not a story that like people might find interesting.
Where have we seen that before?
There's a show called Death Note.
God.
Well, I've said my piece about Death Note.
Maybe you've heard of it.
Does anyone else have something they want to talk about on the Sonic Board podcast?
What? This is it? This is all you had planned?
Yeah, more or less.
Speaking of it, have you guys seen the feature film Stephen King's It?
Nah.
Well, never mind then.
No one's your side.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I did.
Omega gets free movie tickets.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it's kind of a meme movie, but it wasn't.
I've never seen the original It, so I don't really have any basis for comparison. I don't really like horror movies.
Whoa.
Steve doesn't like gore.
I don't.
Dang. Does it trigger you?
Kenny, will you turn off that gay Japanese crap?
I was about to say. Distant anime noises.
Yes, what do you think this is? This isn't the Lucky Cast, Kenny.
It's a video game, though. Talk about video games here?
Well, Kenny, do you have a game you want to talk about?
No.
Kenny had nothing he wanted to talk about.
You were just talking about that fucking shitty Death Note movie. I was just like, let's not say anything.
Did you
We
watch
talked
it?
about Sonic Mania.
Did I watch it? No.
Yeah.
Should I?
What happened? Well, no, but what have you watched recently, Kenny? Other than anime.
Other than anime? Nothing really.
Oh.
Oh wait, Guardians of the Galaxy. That's it.
One or two?
2.
I haven't seen 2.
Oh, it's good.
That's good.
My review, it's good.
I mean, I guess we could. I guess one thing we can kind of go into is the official cancellation of Half-Life 2 Episode 3.
That's right. The dream is dead forever.
Pretty much. So the former writer of Half-Life, Mark Laidlaw, on I forget what date it was. It was sometime in October. On his blog, he just released this synopsis of what Half-Life 2 Episode 3 probably would have been had they actually finished it. And had they actually finished it, it probably would have actually been pretty good. Or at least a satisfactory conclusion to the Half-Life 2 saga, and then they just never did it.
I never played the Half-Life games. So is there any particular reason why Half-Life 3 was never made and why it's such a giant meme?
Well, so what happened was back in, I don't know why, but after they released Half-Life 2, Valve decided to go with this episodic route for the remainder of the Half-Life 2. They wanted to they started doing this whole episodic thing.
Okay.
And they released Half-Life 2 Episode 1.
Okay.
And then the year afterwards, they released Half-Life 2 Episode 2 along with, as part of the Orange Box. And Half-Life 2 Episode 3 was supposed to release 6 months after that. And they're supposed to be it was supposed to be the conclusion of the Half-Life 2 saga. And
Gotcha.
it was supposed to lead into what would eventually be Half-Life 3. Half-Life was never supposed to end. It was supposed to continue on going, really. But right around that time, 2007, when they released the Orange Box, that was when Steam really started to get going.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Steam started to get huge. And then they did Left 4 Dead in 2008.
They did Portal 2.
They did Portal was with the Orange Box, but that was
yeah.
really big. Left 4 Dead was really big. They released Left 4 Dead 2 in 2009, which ironically a lot of people didn't like because they felt it was too early to release a sequel to Left 4 Dead.
So then Valve was like, hold my beer.
And what happened, what happened was that Steam just became such a massive success that Valve realized, I guess, they never really needed to actually put effort into making a video game ever again. They released Portal 2 in 2011, and that game was amazing. That game was great.
Yeah.
And that was the last real video game they developed, because the only other games they made after that were Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Dota 2, but those games are technically actually outsourced. They're not really made by the teams that made Portal or Half-Life or Left 4 Dead. They're just made by Counter-Strike Global Offensive is just made by some random nobodies who weren't really associated with Valve until they hired them to do Global Offensive, and Dota 2 was just made by the guy who made the original Dota.
Right.
So it's all those two games are technically outsourced, and Valve the only thing Valve is doing now is the fucking Dota 2 trading card game. Artifacts, I think, is what it's called.
Mm-hmm. It's just when you don't have that pressure to release a new game. There's just that's it. There's no pressure to do it. So
right.
they're not gonna make a new game in that series unless they feel like they have a decent idea for it or some kind of interesting gameplay mechanic to wrap it around. But because there's no pressure to make it, the innovation is not going to be forced in any way. So they just let it fester for so long that we've now gotten to the point where, even if they wanted to make it, they'll never make it because it would just be disappointing. And I don't think there's anything that they could really come up with that would be new or interesting that hasn't already been done, like in the past 10 years.
Right. Like, the problem, like, they really seem to be trying to go for this VR thing, which I honestly don't think is ever really going to take off for a long, long time. Until it's, like, actually, like, worth it. And the other thing with Valve is they have a very anarchic company structure where it's not like they don't like the way their company is built is very strange in that it's not like they assign people to certain tasks or stuff. It's basically like, here's what we're working on or what we plan on working on. Everybody just join whatever team they want to work on.
Yeah.
And it's like, who in their right mind is going to want to go with Half-Life and get super stressed out trying to think of ideas and think of how to satisfy people who have been waiting for this fucking game for like over a decade now, when they could just make hats for TF2 or make skins for Dota 2 or like make gun models for fucking Counter-Strike.
Or take 30% of every fucking Steam purchase.
Or just do like random Steam structure stuff. Like, or just like think of like, hey, let's do this for the next Steam sale. Like, there's literally no reason for them at this point to do anything Half-Life related. So it makes complete sense why they aren't making a Half-Life game. It is kind of shitty. And it just makes Valve look like a really dumb company. And it just reveals like how much they have pretty much betrayed their old fan base. Which is why now like almost every single Valve game got like suddenly review bombed by people. Like if you go on like the Half-Life 2 page, the Half-Life 1 page, TF2 page, Dota 2 page, you'll see like that, like they now do have a thing where it says like alongside with like the like Steam has this thing where it says like, oh, the reviews are very positive, like user reviews, like 80% of user reviews are good. Well, now they have like a one that says recent, and so all of them are like anywhere from mostly positive to mostly negative for recent, just because of all these like review bombs people have been doing just because of this fucking paste spin.
Just because they didn't get their Dyson spheres.
Yes, because people didn't get their Dyson spheres. And it's I mean it is kind of depressing. Although it is nice that somebody said, fuck it. This is what Half-Life 2 Episode 3 would have been. You could probably use your imagination to at least have an idea of what it would be like.
You have at least some bit of closure that you didn't have before.
Yeah, we at least have have more closure than we did before, where the only real closure was Eli Vance getting his brain sucked out by a giant alien slug, and Alex crying over his corpse.
Is that what happened at the end of
that is what happens at the end of Half-Life 2 Episode 2. It ends with you guys like winning, but then giant alien slugs come in, pin you and Alex to a wall with psychic powers, take Eli Vance, stab his brain, take his like brain juice so that they have all his knowledge, and then just throw his corpse on the ground.
Now, where does Gordon Freeman's brother John Freeman fit into this?
Well, you see, he was one day in an office typing on a computer, when suddenly he got an email from his brother that said aliens and monsters are attacking his place. So he left. That at some point also. Well, oh yeah, there was also a point that was like the weirdest part of the Half-Life series was when John Freeman fought the zombie ghosts after telling them to leave this place. So instead of their argument was that it was their house. So he had the brilliant idea of blowing up their house so that they would be at peace.
So essentially, Valve made so much money, they don't need to make video games anymore.
Pretty much, yeah. That's literally exactly what it is. They're not even really. They're just. They're more or less. They are more or less just the Steam guys now. They're not even video game developers anymore.
Can you imagine if that happened to Nintendo? If Nintendo started some sort of service that they just made so much money, they're like, guys, we're done making video games. No more Mario. We're just outsourcing it to Ubisoft.
Collin bought so many amiibo that they don't have to make games.
I mean, I can't really see that happening to Nintendo, because the thing is, Nintendo, they're Japanese, is the thing. So they don't have, like, that kind of business mindset of, like, complete anarchy like Valve did when they were formed. That's the main reason why Valve is the way they are. They just don't have real structure to them.
Also, Nintendo is garbage at services, so
that too.
That's true.
That too. So they're never gonna make enough money to really do what Valve has done. Because Valve, I feel like Valve just got really, really lucky. Because, like, tell me, what other service out there even matches Steam in terms of, like, impact and quality? Huh?
You play.
Origin.
Origin or goodoldgames.com.
It's like the YouTube problem of they did it first.
Yeah, they did it first.
So now they have an overwhelming monopoly, and why would anyone else go anywhere else?
It's literally like, I know too big to fail is a meme, but it's literally what has happened. Like, they're just so massive that you just can't kill it. It's just impossible.
I remember like they had that one Christmas where they had that massive security breach. And,
yeah.
People just kind of wrote it off like it was nothing. Like, it didn't even impact them at all.
No.
And like their response to it was like radio silence too, and they didn't get any shit for how they handled that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just such a meme. Like, Valve became such a big meme company. Like, Gabe Newell became such, like, a meme figurehead, where he's like this, oh god, what the fuck is this funk? Jesus Christ. But like you all know about how, like, Gabe Newell is kind of like this kind of face of PC gaming, or at least he was for a short time there.
Yeah.
For a few years, where he was like this big, like, everyone was like, oh, Gabe Newell, like there's even that fucking, like, that one, I'm sure you've all seen that that video on YouTube that's like, tonight's the night, it's like the Steam sales start, you have Gabe Newell, his face posted over Jesus Christ just rising from the bottom of the screen with that Are You Ready for a Miracle song playing. And it's like that, like, I think that too, like, just the glorification of the company, I'm sure, got them way over their head and like super egotistical. Like I even post, like, even recently, like, I posted that one fucking tweet showing the guy from Valve being like, all right, on the count of 3, everybody say, when's Half-Life 3? And, like, they do it, and he's just like, all right, awesome.
Ah.
It's like, come on.
Do you think that one day we're going to have, like, a John Lennon situation where Gabe just gets assassinated on the street?
I don't. I mean, who even
Why?
knows?
Why John
I mean,
Lennon?
what would the assassin have read that motivated him to do it?
That's a good question. I think, maybe Animal Farm.
Oh my god. But yeah. So Half-Life 2 Episode 3 is literally never ever. Unless somebody decides to make it in like Gmod or something. I don't know.
Who was that other president that got assassinated? Not JFK, the other one.
Oh, the only other one?
Abraham Lincoln?
No, the other one.
James
guy.
Garfield? There's a bunch of presidents that have been assassinated.
I know, but I'm talking about the not famous one.
The guy before Teddy
Well,
Roosevelt?
Yeah, well, McKinley.
Yeah,
It wasn't McKinley, was it?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm American.
So am I.
What?
Yeah, Steve's an illegal immigrant.
Oh
No,
my
I'm
god.
a legal immigrant.
Yeah, well, you're an illegal citizen.
No, I'm not.
You're not a citizen.
No, I'm a resident. I'm not a citizen.
Then-
But that doesn't mean I'm illegal.
Wait a minute.
Someone call Trump.
Now, somebody hold up here. But if you were to leave Canada and then come back, would you technically be in? Yeah, but theoretically, if you were to leave Canada and then come back and then stay there, would you then be an illegal immigrant?
Probably.
Okay, there we go.
Steve is under hostage by Canada.
Yes.
Dang.
I'll be fine. I just can't leave the country ever.
You can. I hope you're comfy.
Steve can wait out Half-Life Episode 3. in the
I've
confines
never
of
played
America's
any of the
past.
Half-Life games.
Who here? I think Funk,
I've played all of them.
Yeah, Funk has played all of them. I don't know. Collin, have you played any of them?
I've played Half-Life 2.
Okay. Well, you played the best one.
That's
Colin's
great.
played Water Hazard.
I was in a riverboat. I went around in the riverboat. I was Half-Life.
There's a seesaw. You put things on one end so you can stand on the other.
Man,
There's
you're a
nothing
piece-
wrong with the seesaw.
Funk's a piece of shit, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The what?
No, we're just, just throwing shade, Matt.
Water Hazard and Highway 17 are literally the best levels in Half-Life 2. I don't care what anybody says.
Is Highway 17 the one where you gotta run across moving traffic?
The one with the
And
car!
That's
The
the one
guy's
where you're
gotta-
in the car.
No,
And
I was
it's the one where you
referencing
Yeah,
I was
we
referencing
know.
a Call of Duty level. I was being
Oh.
funny. Being a funny boy. just Kenny made it funny. In the
God.
chat just now. He's a funny guy. You'll never know what it is though.
All right.
Anyway.
So the man. Now, what about Quarter Life? Halfway to Destruction.
Was that also a meme video?
That's the one where Gordon Freachman was studying in his studying laboratory
I haven't seen that one.
with his coworker Jim. That's also the one where the bad guy from the game says, "If you do not give in to my demands, too late," and then triggers the bomb. Oh yeah, and apparently they're apparently in Dallas because Gordon Freeman says, "Oh no, not all of Dallas."
Dallas. Fuck, you didn't do it! You left me hanging.
And the
So-
podcast right there.
There's
So,
the-
Omega, how was your first experience on the Sonic Board podcast?
Oh, it was amazing. It was everything I ever dreamed of.
Yeah? Well, hopefully you can watch the requisite amount of anime and show up on the anime podcast.
Just give me a list of anime and I'll watch it.
No.
See, you say that you gave up so easily last time.
You guys never did the list. That was
You watched one whole episode of Manga Sensei and you dropped it.
I did. I wasn't having any of that.
That show is actually great.
I could make a list.
Yes, Kenny, send it to me through.
Can you
Whatever.
check it twice, Kenny?
He's just gonna make you watch all those fucking Chinese anime.
I'll watch it. I'll review them. I don't care.
Omega, I won't steer you wrong if you ask me for recommendations, but I have not really watched anything this season.
Oh no!
All of you give me 3 animes to watch, and next time there's an anime podcast, put me on it and I'll talk about them.
Oh my god. Should it
but
be
see-
seasonal stuff or just anything?
Any anime ever.
Oh my god.
Shit! Oh my god!
So we need to have we'll need to have like an extra episode where Omega just reviews shit.
Are we giving you 3 each, or?
Yes.
Oh my god!
3?
That's a lot of anime.
Do they have to be? Do they have to be like a certain amount of cores? Can it only be like 1 core?
Well, please don't just like give me like Naruto or One Piece or something, because I don't want
Yeah,
to
I mean,
watch
yeah, I know that.
Do
I'm
you
not
have
gonna
a
that.
cap though? Do you have a cap on how long they can be?
it. Maybe like just 20 or so episodes. Don't give me like a like
20 is not like a good number because most things are going to be either 12 or 24.
Yeah, 24 is the max. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Oh fuck my life! Holy shit. Is everyone sorting through right now?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
am.
Okay.
I'm
all
glad,
right.
glad we can
So-
do this live.
So Colin,
Oh wait, are we? Is the podcast still going?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you say goodbye, Matt? I don't think you did. So,
Yeah, Omega needs to be held accountable by the audience so that they know everything that's said.
That is
hey,
true.
Steve, in the show notes, include a link to Omega's Mal so everyone can pop in on his journey.
All right. Does it have Does it have to be bad?
It can be anything.
Okay.
Anything you want to watch, I'll watch it.
Do you want punished Omega or do you not want punished Omega?
I mean, be gentle. Don't,
Yeah.
don't just ram it in there.
Let's not give him. Let's not give him. Twin tails.
What
I mean-
about heavy object? Is heavy object okay to give him?
Oh Jesus Christ! No, don't do
Is
that.
Terraform Mars okay to give him?
That is definitely okay to give him. That show is perfectly watchable, as bad as it is.
I
What
was
about
walking down the street and I had the theme of that stuck in my head, and I was like, "This show's great."
what about the Asterix Wars seasons 1 and 2?
Oh my god.
We don't
That's
wait.
saying Steve Omega.
But that's Colin's recommendation.
Yeah.
What about Rompo Keaton?
You can you guys can recommend whatever you want. It doesn't need to be good or bad. At least that's
Yeah,
how I'm
just
seeing
anything.
it.
Just
Yeah.
anything.
All right.
Make him watch Martian Successor Nadesico.
Oh no.
You guys are laughing, and I don't understand any of these memes yet, but I'm sure I will.
It's a bad show.
Frank
It's-
likes it.
Much like Wreck-It Ralph was a bad guy.
You're a bad guy.
Okay. Well, I think I'm ready.
Wait,
Yeah,
you already have shows for him?
What you asked for just 3 shows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. You don't have a fucking list of hundreds of shows.
Yeah, my list is much more concise than yours, so that's great for me.
I'm gonna do 2 good ones and then a bad one. I guess that'll be good.
I'm just gonna look at this list and see what I can pull out.
I'm gonna have a good, the bad, and the ugly.
So Omega, are you ready to note this down, write this down, whatever?
Yeah, I have my Mal open, so I'll just enter it in search bar, just add it to my watch list.
Remember,
Great.
don't recommend something if you don't want to hear his answer to.
All right. Okay. So my first recommendation is Mob Psycho 100.
Oh well, you took one of mine.
Ah. Yeah. Fuck you, Matt.
That is like the fucking most predictable Colin
It is.
Okay,
but
got it.
Why shouldn't I go with a safe choice?
That is a very safe choice.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Then let's see. Second one, let's see. Let's go Bakano.
Bakano.
Bakano, that's B-A-C-C.
Oh. Yay, CC.
Not
A-
Bakano.
Bakano, okay. Got it.
And heck. Let's see what I'm sifting through here. If anyone else has anything that they've gotten that they're ready to share, you can go ahead and throw one out.
I'm ready to go, and I'll
Okay.
just type. I typed them in. I'll say them aloud, but just so you can have this. So Omega,
Yeah.
I would like you to watch in no
Okay.
particular order.
Okay.
Ronpo Kiton, Game of Laplace, Terraform Mars.
Wait.
I have it written here. I'm gonna send the message in a second. So,
okay.
Terraform Mars and Rolling Girls.
God. Just because you punished us doesn't mean you have to punish him too.
Rolling Girls is legitimately fantastic. It is
Rolling
not.
Girls was Rolling
Rolling Girls is a great show. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's decent. It's
Yeah.
decent.
But this is quintessential funk Kino right here.
This is the
Got
most
it.
I'd rather watch
you'll ever
Goshman
see in
Crowds
real
again than fucking Rolling Girls.
Wow.
Oh my god. The only way that list would be more funk is if Thanari no Seki-kun was on.
Okay, I got my last one. I'm gonna throw this one down. So this is a bold choice
Bold choice.
for an uninitiated, but I'm gonna throw down Youth. I'm gonna throw down Hibike Euphonium for Omega.
I'd like to think that Collin and I have different goals in mind when he puts youth on his list and I put Terraform Mars on mine.
How do you spell that? Youth? Like
that's
yes?
that's
Oh.
Hibike Euphonium. So Hibike.
High bike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Euphonium.
Just you felt okay, got it.
Like the instrument.
I mean, I want him to enjoy himself, Omega or Funk.
I mean, the
Or
thing
Funk.
is, I recommend the things that, despite some of them not being 10s, they are enjoyable, I think.
Okay.
If you didn't enjoy the boxing episode of Terraform Mars, you just don't get it.
Who was
Is-
that character?
Is Adolf still our guy?
Oh,
Adolf's always our guy. Cucked to oblivion.
oh my god. Oh man. I'm not even sure.
I mean, you can take back Mob Psycho if you want, Matt, and I can put it up.
No, that's fine. I mean, you can. I don't care. The more variety, the better. Honestly. I mean, I already have one that I definitely am gonna say.
All right, we'll throw it down for
Yeah.
him.
Okay. My first one is Ping Pong the Animation.
Okay.
Got it.
I mean that show is like actual Kino, so.
Have all the shows you've recommended to him been 12 episodes?
I think so.
Yeah.
Like one core.
Because I may be the one who ends up giving him longer shows.
That's fine.
That's fine. I mean,
Part of me kind of wants to say Ajin, but that's like it's split in two different now pages since it's like a split core show. Yeah, I'm not gonna put that.
Oh, give him.
we're still
gay
being
figure
we're
skating.
still being recorded.
We are.
The world has to know.
This is some fucking quality material.
This is
Matt.
high quality shit right here. What?
Give him Yuri on Ice.
I was going to say that. You know what? Fuck it. Yuri on Ice. Watch Yuri on Ice.
Second one for Matt. Yuri on Ice.
Yes.
Okay.
Just hook it up to the projector at work.
Yeah. Each one of my auditoriums will be playing one of these animes simultaneously.
All right.
All right, you want mine?
Okay, go.
So I'm gonna recommend stuff that fucking almost none of you have watched.
Ooh.
Man, Steve sucks.
You ready, Omega?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to you have to watch.
Oh.
Number 1, Bodacious Space Pirates.
Oh no.
Give me a break.
How do you spell that?
Bodacious Space Pirates. Here's the Mal page. You can just fucking add it to watch. Number 2, you have to watch Samurai Flamenco.
I
Still
take back
boycotting
everything.
that.
You know what? Steve is actually the best.
And finally, you have to watch a show none of these guys have watched, except for maybe Kenny, is Birdie the Mighty Decode.
I
I've
always
watched
hear good
that.
things about that
Okay.
one, actually.
Don't make sure you don't watch the fucking 4-episode OVA. Watch the actual show.
Wait, what's it called? Mighty Decode?
Birdie the Mighty Decode.
Oh, okay.
So, do we want to put all these into like a roulette for him, or is he just we're just gonna let him go?
I
We
still
need
need
a
my
wooden
third one.
wheel that we can spin and have it randomly be decided.
What should my third one be?
Oh, Matt still hasn't dropped his third one.
No.
So,
I'm-
is Omega allowed to drop a show if he hates it?
I think so.
He has
It'll
to,
make going through mine a bit faster.
he has to have a 3-episode commitment, I think.
That's fair.
That is
Alrighty.
fair.
3-episode rule.
I think Terraformers gets going by the 3rd episode. Trying to
I feel
remember
like-
where that like one completely fucking crazy scene is in the spaceship.
Oh my god. I think
Inside
that's
Isn't
like,
that like
that's
the
cool.
second episode?
that's the second episode.
This is where it really goes off the rails.
Oh my god.
But then it actually does.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should go with like a Matt Core show, or just a good show.
What you mean, like
you mean a shoujo?
Kind of.
I was gonna say Beck as a Matt Core show.
I've never watched Beck.
Oh, that seems so Matt.
It
Kinda
it
guy.
does.
It seems so funk.
It seems very funk. Yeah. Okay. You know what?
Drop Nichijou. Oh wait, no, Nichijou is 25 episodes.
Damn.
26.
So 26.
It would be far and away the best thing recommended too. There, I said it.
Man, this is hard.
Osomatsu's 25.
You could give him
You know what?
what was that? What was that OVA with Mars?
Mars of Destruction.
God.
Ice.
No, I mean that's 19 minutes long.
So-
Soma? Wait, Matt, what about Soma?
I haven't watched Soma yet.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
For
I'm gonna
some reason.
let's do this. Okay, here we go. Daily Lives of High School Boys.
Haha.
Oh my god.
That sure is good.
That's pretty Matt.
That's a pretty Matt Core show, yeah.
We like Matt Core.
Okay. Got that one. Okay.
What's the
Just
time
in case-
frame on this?
I still haven't. Is Kenny giving me episodes? Kenny, are you giving me shows to watch?
I don't know, am I allowed to give you shows to watch?
Yeah.
Hang on just a second.
Strike Witches 2, Brave Witches. That's Kenny's list.
No, it's not. I did have Strike Witches on there for a second, but I decided no.
Oh, you know what? Have you? This isn't one of my picks, but Omega, you haven't watched Die Buster yet, have you?
No.
Okay, you should watch that at some point. It's not as good as
Yeah.
Gunbuster, but it's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. It's just been on the back burner.
Okay, I changed my mind. I got a list for you, Omega.
Okay.
Okay. Steve called it. You're gonna watch Strike Witches.
Jeez.
Then you're gonna watch AKB 0048.
God,
Oh,
Kenny, don't
no.
punish the man.
And then
If you say Love Live, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
no, you're Bento.
What was that?
Bento.
Bento. Okay.
So these are 15 shows in total, and I'm gonna be, I think end of the year is pretty generous to watch 15 shows. Do you guys think?
Well, I
With the
say,
ability to drop them if you don't like them, I think that's reasonable.
I say like he watches half, and then we do a podcast about it, and then he'll watch the other half, and then we'll do a podcast about it.
Well, I just think that if we do like an end of the year podcast, that'd be the perfect time to bring him on for just like the whole rundown.
We can
But-
have like special podcasts dedicated.
I
to
guess
this.
I guess the end of the year podcast is already long enough as is.
Yeah. Did anyone not give Omega all their shows?
I think
He
I
could-
got
he
them
could-
all here.
You could watch Tenchi Muyo as a bonus.
Bonus
Is that a
app.
bonus?
You know, thank good golly gosh that Frank isn't here.
Yeah, he's gonna be pissed off he missed this podcast.
Oh,
It's his fault for going to fucking karaoke.
Oh, what a fucking normie! Holy shit! Oh. Dang. Well, I got some homework to do.
Let's start whipping up them torrents.
Oh God. What to start
Yeah, we noticed that you illegally downloaded 15 different anime series. So
with?
I need you to cease and desist all activity.
I'll just run away. I'll run off to Canada.
Wait, you think
Yeah,
Steve's
you-
gonna let you stay with him? Fuck no.
No, I'll just camp outside his apartment or whatever.
Oh,
You'll
God,
style.
You wouldn't,
no.
you wouldn't be the first.
like his girlfriend that one time.
That's
My
what I was
God.
alluding to.
So I turned the lights off and pretended I wasn't home.
So that's gonna wrap us up here on the Sonic Board podcast.
That's pure Seinfeld core right there.
I have my moments. All right. Anyone want to say anything else before we sign off?
I'm sorry that we made you listen to 20 minutes of slow list making.
Yeah, if you got through that, you're a true Sonic Board podcast.
Godspeed.
All right. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Everyone.
Goodbye.
And we're out.
I wish I had my bass to play the Seinfeld theme.